If you're in the CPA world, you already know the pressure is, well, it's relentless. The demand to deliver faster, more accurate work, it never, ever stops. So today, we're going to dive into a really powerful strategy that tackles this challenge head-on, leveraging offshore accounting to totally transform how your firm operates. So, does this question hit a little too close to home? For so many CPA firms, that frantic pace of tax season now feels like the new normal, right? It's just stretching across the entire calendar. If you're feeling this, you are definitely not alone. It's a massive sign that the old ways of working are really hitting their breaking point. So, what's really causing this productivity squeeze? It's not just one thing. It's kind of like a perfect storm of different factors that are all putting this huge strain on your team, your resources, and your firm's ability to grow. And just look at how these roadblocks all feed into each other. You've got manual tasks that just eat up your team's already limited bandwidth. Then you have the seasonal peaks that make it feel impossible to ever get ahead. And all of this is happening in an environment where compliance is getting more and more complex. Honestly, it's a recipe for burnout, especially with the current talent shortage making it harder than ever to find and keep great people. But what if the answer wasn't just about working harder or trying to hire your way out of the problem? What if it was about fundamentally rethinking your entire workflow? This is where we need to start thinking strategically. And yeah, quite literally, beyond the four walls of your own office. All right, let's be crystal clear about what we mean by offshore accounting. This is not just about blindly handing off work to someone you don't know. It's about building a skilled, integrated team that functions as a true extension of your own firm. They get your workflows, they operate by your standards, and they're totally aligned with your goals. So how does this integrated team model actually deliver those real-world productivity gains? I promise, it's not magic. It works by pulling 5 specific, powerful levers that directly push back against those roadblocks we just talked about. Let's break down each one. First up, and honestly, this is the real game changer: delegation. By offloading those high-volume, repetitive tasks, you immediately free up your highly skilled in-house experts. Their time is way too valuable to be spent on reconciliations when they could be delivering high-level client advisory services, like strategic tax planning or business valuation. Now, this is where you see the incredible power of time zones. While your US office is sleeping, your offshore team is pushing work forward. This creates a continuous 24-hour workflow, which can dramatically, and I mean dramatically, slash turnaround times on client projects. It's like adding a whole second shift without ever keeping the lights on all night. Remember those brutal seasonal peaks we talked about? Well, offshore staffing gives you an elastic workforce. You can scale your team up to crush the tax season rush and then scale right back down, all without the huge cost and complexity of hiring full-time permanent staff. Think of it like a thermostat for your team. You just turn up the heat when you need it and dial it back when things cool off. Okay, let's talk about accuracy because this part is totally non-negotiable. A reliable offshore partner brings in professionals who are trained in US GAAP and IRS regulations. This deep expertise means fewer errors, way less time wasted on rework and review, and a much smoother compliance process. The key here is you're not sacrificing quality for speed, you're actually enhancing both at the same time. And ultimately, all of these benefits funnel toward one single goal. With all the routine work being expertly handled, your core team can finally dedicate their brainpower to what truly drives your firm's growth, providing strategic client services, solving those really complex problems, and nurturing those critical client relationships. So let's get practical for a second. This table shows you exactly the kind of high-volume work that is just perfect for delegation. We're talking about things like bookkeeping, payroll support, tax prep, and audit support. These are the foundational tasks that, when you outsource them, deliver immediate and really noticeable gains in your firm's efficiency. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually make it happen without creating a total mess? Well, the key is a structured, methodical approach. This isn't about flipping a switch overnight. It's a playbook for a smart, seamless integration. So here are the 5 key steps to get this right. First, you identify the right tasks. Pinpoint those repetitive, time-consuming processes that are bogging your team down. Second, you select the right partner. Do your homework to find a firm that truly gets the nuances of a CPA firm. Third, and this one is absolutely critical, you establish crystal clear standard operating procedures, or SOPs, to make sure everything is consistent and high quality. Fourth, you maintain constant, open communication. And finally, you scale at a pace that makes sense for you, starting small to build trust and then expanding as you see those positive results. This quote on the screen really says it all. Start with a few key tasks and expand as trust in the offshore team grows. You don't have to go all in at once. Try a pilot project, maybe with a few specific clients, or just a single type of task. This lets you build confidence, refine your process, and then expand when you know the trust and the results are really there. Now that we've covered how to do it, let's talk about the payoff. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about faster turnarounds or saving some money. The benefits of doing this the right way ripple across your entire organization, creating a healthier, more resilient, and way more competitive firm.
This chart gives us a fantastic visual breakdown. And notice this, improved client satisfaction and reduced staff burnout are weighted just as heavily as cost efficiency. You're not just optimizing your bottom line, you're building a better business for your clients and a better workplace for your team. I mean, that is an incredibly powerful combination.
Okay, now for the big question that's probably on everyone's mind. Handing over sensitive client data. That's a massive responsibility. So how can you be absolutely sure that it's safe? The answer really comes down to vetting your partner. Reputable offshore firms make security their absolute top priority. We're talking state-of-the-art encrypted data transfer, secure cloud systems, and strictly controlled access protocols to ensure your client files are protected at every single step of the process. So, what does this new dynamic look like in practice? Well, your in-house team gets elevated, free to focus on that high-value strategy, client relationships, and firm growth. Meanwhile, your offshore team becomes this reliable engine that just powers through all the essential, high-volume work. Each team is playing to its greatest strengths. Ultimately, this all comes down to a core philosophy. In today's landscape, simply working harder is not a sustainable path to growth. The firms that are really going to win are the ones that learn how to operate smarter. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just take a moment and really imagine it. If all those repetitive, time-draining tasks were just expertly handled, freeing up your best people to do their absolute best work, what could your firm truly achieve? I think the possibilities are definitely worth exploring.